back on the Bossman show. New coach of George Mason, Tony Skinn, going back to his alma mater he played at. Brother Tony, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Doing good. Just another day in Fairfax, man. Doing well.
I hear that, man. And man, how does it feel to be back home, man? You know, you played there. Before you went to play ball over in Europe there, man. So how's it feel coming back after 17 years, man? Back where you played, where you got kind of grew as a man into.
Yeah, it's it's an unbelievable feeling. I've been here now 2 months plus, and I'm still every day I wake up, I'm like, man, I can't believe I got this job. I actually found a picture that I tweeted earlier today. I found a picture of me literally when I was a baby here. And
Wow.
it just kind of took it back, man, because again, when I first arrived on this campus in 2004, I really didn't have any type of idea what was in store for me, man. And so to see that full circle 17 years later, man, it's an honor, it's a blessing, and I'm just living in the moment.
I hear that, Tony, man. Let me ask you this, man. What made you want to get into coaching? My dad's a coach. He's 84 years old in August, man. He still has his legal pads out, taking notes. We watch games. So he's talking about, side pick and roll, drop coverage. 84 years old, he's still out of people too, Tony. So what made you want to get into coaching, man? I know my dad said he wanted to help young men in Atlanta and help grow young men into successful guys in society. So what kind of got you want to get into coaching
Man,
after your career playing?
what's crazy is that the honest truth is I didn't have a plan to get into coaching. I was very, very fortunate going into my 8th year as a professional. I had just signed a 2-year deal to go play in the Ukraine in the EuroLeague. So, highest level in Europe, and, for some really, really good money right after the 2012 Olympics. And my career was just right there where, you play another 4 or 5 years at that level, make that type of money, you really can transition into kind of whatever you want. But I ended up getting hurt 3 weeks later after signing that contract in the Olympics. And it was a major, major injury that I really just couldn't transition from. But through my rehab, I just kind of started volunteering, at a high school, then also AAU-wise. And it literally just clicked like overnight, like, you know what? I think it's about that time to try to figure something else out. It's that transition that, we all go through it as athletes, as professionals. You never really know what you want to do when you're transitioning out of something. And especially for us as basketball players, when, 29, 30, 31, whatever it is, if you're blessed to be able to play that long, that transition does happen. And for me, it was coaching. Once I got in the gym and I felt my comfort zone being in the gym with those guys, I knew what I could bring to the table, and I just kind of just made that decision and just ran with it.
No doubt, man. I feel you on that. I know for me, it was 2009 getting cut from the NFL. I said, I can't keep doing this. I gotta do something. I didn't
Yeah,
want to get a 9 to 5 per se. So
yeah,
the radio's been my thing the last 14 years.
yeah. Nah, that's what's up, man. That being able to find that niche, being able to reinvent yourself, that's a whole nother skill set. You know.
Yeah, I think it was good for me, Tony, because my dad's a coach and I played. So like I ain't get listeners the perspective of a player and a coach because I grew up with a coach and I played.
Yeah.
And I know now I know. And I would never ask you guys questions that I know I would want to answer as a player or a coach. So have that perspective in this space, like, it's different. A lot of you guys who report on the game ain't people about it in their lives. So I know,
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
man. And I'm asking this, man. I know when I got started, brother, I was a co-host. So I don't think
Mhm.
anybody in my head about if I was the main guy, what I would do. So if he's an assistant coach, how do you prepare yourself to say, hey, if I get my own program, being loyal to your guy still, but if I get a job, how I would do something different based on what he's doing?
Yeah, I think everybody's journey is different as an assistant coach. Some people work in certain places and are assistants, and they're just not given certain roles. They're not given certain responsibilities. They don't have autonomy that actually exists in the business, whether people want to talk about it or not. But I was fortunate in my path, man, working around some really, really good people, but also some really, really good coaches. And that helped me tremendously in my growth along the way. Just being able to see different things, being put in situations where I had to make decisions, especially this past year at the University of Maryland with Coach Willard. I knew that, that door could come knocking anytime. And he put me in position to just really, help him with that program in year one. And so it's never going to be a perfect, oh, I've done this, so I know what to do when I'm, in that first sheet. That's never going to be the case. If I told you it was, I'd be lying to you. But being as prepared as possible and preparation for me is everything. And so going into it, you're going to have your turbulence. That's just the normal wear and tear in any business, in any profession. But regardless if you've been coaching for 10 years or if you've been coaching for a year, there's going to always be growth. And, that's just kind of my mindset.
And Tony, you're in a tough league. The A10 to me, man, is a tough league. And it sucks you only get one bid because it's such good basketball in the A10, man. It's like it's depth from top to bottom, man. It's just hard. And so many coaches in your league, man. So as you prepare for this journey, man, how's it been kind of studying up a little bit on synergy? The guys who you're going up against come the fall in January and February then.
Yeah, I mean it's I take things for what it is, one day at a time. This is a tremendous league. I had a chance to be a part of the A10 conference a couple of weeks ago, where for me, especially probably being one of the youngest guys in the room, I got a chance to see some of these old vets that I've watched not only as a coach, but even some that I watched coach when I was a player. And so it's always a different light button that comes on in my head because I have to switch my mindset. As a player, you control different things in different ways. But now as a coach, it's a little bit different where you have to, how can I say this respectfully? With all due respect, I'm here to compete. And
No doubt.
so the fandom goes out of the window. And so again, like you said, it's a tremendous, tremendous league. I have all the respect for this league. I was playing professionally, I believe, or no, I had just retired when they transitioned from the CAA to the A10, and to see the growth and just the additions to this league, I'm excited about it. But like I said, it's one day at a time, man. We got 13 games before we get into that gauntlet, and so
Man,
you
yeah.
got to stay focused on that.
No doubt, brother, no doubt. And how has it been recruiting wise in DMV? Because since you are, nobody can describe it as be a patriot, but you are a George Mason patriot through and through and through. Nobody can say how to do it better than you, man. So how's it been recruiting DMV area? Look at the talent there, and also by you being so close to DC and the DMV, getting guys on national scale to want to come there and play, and get those internships, get those networking connections, because that's important. They're all, as you know both know very well, everybody's not gonna go play pro ball. So he had to have something to fall back on too. So being in that area, being to connect to get things with the government, the people, all that area, man, great opportunity for a young man.
Yeah, no, it's been a culmination of just all the things that I've kind of experienced at different levels. My first job was at Louisiana Tech in North Louisiana and in Ruston, Louisiana. And, I didn't have any type of navigation or what to do when I first got that job. But I figured it out real quick. And there's a certain work ethic that you have to have in figuring those things out. And again, that was one of the reasons I was able to make a jump and through the profession, just because of my work ethic and some of the things that I was able to get done and people started to notice. And so you fast forward that to now being here at home in my comfort zone in the very rich DMV. I've said this all the time and I'll continue to say it. There's a little piece of talent for everybody in this area, whether it's GW, whether it's Georgetown, Maryland, American, Howard, the list goes on and on. But, we've gotten a chance to, and a lot of credit goes to my staff and really doing the unthinkable in April with 9 scholarships. And the portal land that we live in and the NIL space that we live in. It's just a culmination of different things that if you don't have a good staff, if you're not in a good location where people actually know you, it makes things so much harder. That wasn't the case for us. A lot of people are obviously familiar with George Mason and what we did years back. And to be able to tie that back into somebody that represents that, it makes the conversation in recruiting a little bit easier. I'm not selling something that I don't know. I'm not selling something that wasn't accomplished. And like you mentioned, my goal is to mentor these guys that come walking in the door, because if I can do it, somebody else can do it as well. And I think that's just been the biggest piece for us in our message, especially in this DMV area. That's the kind of guys that we're looking for, and we've been good with it. We were able to bring in some really, really good pieces in April at this level where, typically you get like one, maybe two if you're lucky of those pieces. I think we got 6, 7 really, really good pieces. So it's been awesome for us.
No doubt, Tony. And for your guys' workouts, man, how are those been for you guys? Or seeing kind of what you have to work with, get guys that camaraderie. Because I always felt, Tony, I got better when I was in Nashville, not down here when I'm home by myself. So when I was up
Yeah.
in Tennessee, I was always more focused with my guys on my craft and catching balls and getting better. But being
Mm-hmm.
down here, it's like I'm chilling with my homies. So how was that been getting you and the guys together,
Nah,
getting them bonds?
it's been great, man. Like you said, I know when I played that the rules it didn't allow for coaches to have us in the summer. So if you weren't individually motivated, it just all depends on what you was doing with your summer. And actually that's what made us good in that 2006 years, because, as locals, we loved competing against everybody else in the city. So we would go from different gyms to go work out, things of that nature. But that landscape has kind of changed. And obviously the rules of us being able to be with them for 8 weeks in the summer makes a huge difference. We got started out yesterday. So yesterday was our first day. I'm sorry, Monday was our first day. And, we've gone 2 days straight. They have a day off today on Wednesday. We'll go again tomorrow, and then we'll do some conditioning on Friday. But the first 2 days has been awesome. Guys are out of shape, as they should be this time of the year. But getting a chance to get in the gym and just, that's church for us. I'm going to be big on individual work, and got a chance to see, different guys for the first time outside of, obviously what we watched on film, because we have all, basically with the exception of Austin Ball, we all have transfers and returners. So I haven't had a chance to really see each guy in their element, but we've had that in the last 48 hours, and it's been cool. We've had some fun, and we're just going to continuously to use that time to just get better and learn, kind of our system and who we are.
No doubt. And for scheduling wise, being the 18, how was it trying to do a non-conference schedule, trying to get guys to come play Trail Place, not be on the road so much? I don't think you make too many money games per se, but how was that being trying to make the schedule? I know a lot of probably done for you this year at least, but how's it been trying to schedule down the road?
Yeah, scheduling it's complicated, man, because I've been on the other side of it. I spent the last 2 years in the Big Ten, and prior to that, for 3 years, I was in the Big East. And so I understand the value of buy games. I understand being, right in the middle, which I think we are. And the truth of the matter is, the more additions we keep adding to our roster, the less, phone calls that are being returned. You know what I mean? So
No
it's
doubt.
it's definitely a day to day. Credit goes out to Mark, who's kind of handling our schedule, my director of operations. But it's coming along. We're probably 2 or 3 games away from finishing our schedule. But it's not anything new. Pretty much everybody at this level in this league goes through the same thing, man. You're trying to get some competitive guys to come on your floor, but then you're also trying to challenge your team as well to go on the road. I would say that locally, the one thing that I'd love to see, and again, this is unfair because I was on the other side of it, and my thought process might have been a little bit different, but I would love to see some some local competition. Let's just say that.
Yeah, no doubt. I could see like I have at the Capital One Center, a day of just 4 games of DMV teams, which a lot
You
of them.
sound you sound you sound like a DMV guy, because something like that did exist back when I played in 2005 and six. It was called the BB&T Classic, and what it was just a combination of all the local schools, regardless of the level. We all played 2 games in those 2 or 3 days, and it was really competitive. It brought the city out, and I'd love to go back to that, but who am I? Who am I to say that as a first year coach, man?
Well, I'm trying to do a MTE here in Atlanta, so I'm kind of in that
Okay.
space myself already. I'm trying to do MT down here for maybe we can get Clark to play Tennessee State, my alma mater, or Morehouse. So I'm trying to do some things around MTEs in Atlanta. So my mind kind of goes there. Like, why can't we have Georgia State, Kennesaw State play and Mercer? So yeah, that's always in my mind. So when you said it, like, yes, it makes sense to me, but I know
Yeah.
how some people are about not wanting to lose games to certain people on a neutral slight. I know
Yep.
that too. That's been
Yeah.
something I've been told. Well, we play them there, they have a chance to beat us. Play, compete.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish it was a simple solution, man. But I've been on both sides of it, and our goal is to just get as many competitive games as we can get, and whoever wants to play us, that's just kind of where the ball drops.
No doubt, man. I'm asking kids, brother. Last one I got for you, Atlanta. What is your favorite thing about coming to Atlanta? And also, talk about the talent here in Atlanta for recruiting wise. There's a lot of talent here in my backyard. Talk about the city of Atlanta in general, how much you like it, and talent here for you guys to kind of pluck from and pick from.
Yeah, no, I think Atlanta's a major hub, and I think Atlanta's a city where just like the DMV, you have a lot of people that come through the DMV to recruit guys. I think Atlanta's right up that same conversation. Like I said, I spent my first 3 years at Louisiana Tech, and when you're at a mid major like that, where you're driving everywhere, you got to be able to find like that major city that you can get some stuff done at. And fortunately for me, I was able to build some relationships in Atlanta, and so Atlanta actually became, so you can say my bread and butter outside of the DMV. And so over the years, I've been in Atlanta recruiting again, whether it's at some of the smaller events, some of the more I don't even know what you call it, some of the independent events. Again, whether it's on the radar or whatever else that may be going on down there, Atlanta's been pretty good to me. I've recruited at several high schools. I actually had for a couple of years I had a role in at Green Forest when Green Forest was rolling, as they still are. I recruited a kid, Ike Obiagu, who went to Green Forest, played with the Georgia Stars, went to Florida State, and then ended up transferring to us at Seton Hall. And then we also just signed this year Amari Kelly, who's at, I believe, I can't remember what high school Amari Kelly was at, but he played with Stackhouse Elite. So there's a lot of relationships down there that I have in Atlanta. So I love Atlanta, man. And, not to mention the culture, man, when you come down there, it's a good place.
Now, I will say this, Tony. This show has gotten guys recruits. I can tell you that they told me as much. Guys saw the coach on my show and decided to, and when they called him, I know you from the Bossman show. So, yeah, you can talk to him, you cool. So, I will tell you, guys have gotten guys to meet them from the show. I can tell you that. It'd be West Coast, Northeast, it's happening, brother. Trust me, when I tell you that. Guys to the show, they see you, they want to come join you, man.
Well, I need you to just go ahead and throw that live, man. Throw the live.
Hey, fellas, my man Tony Skinn, hey, you hear him on the show. If he calls you, hits you up, get that man a opportunity. DMV a great town. See, promo right there for you, my brother. I'll ask you real quick, Tony. When you was in Ruston, man, did y'all play Grambling? Right down the road. Did y'all play them any?
You know what? Man, you taking it back. I'm getting old because I believe I can't remember, man. I believe we might have played Grambling. Grambling, like you said, Grambling and Ruston, it's the same damn city. There's literally 1 mile that separates the campus. And I was always at Grambling because we would take some of the recruits there, and vice versa. And I had a really good relationship with the coach there that was there at the time, and even the new coach that's there now. I want to say we might have played Grambling on a neutral floor, though. We might have played Grambling in Shreveport. I got to fact check that. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, because I know I've been down to Grambling a few times myself. It's like, and I know it's right there. It's literally
right there.
It's literally right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's like a good little hub right there, and fellas want to go down and get you a African queen right down the street, brother. Get you a queen down the street. You want to get you a queen.
That's a good way. That's a good way to put it, right? That's a great way to put it.
You want you a good African queen down the street. He down the road,
for sure.
You found you.
Yeah.
Hey man, it's been fun to catch up with you, Tony. It was fun, man. I'll see you in the ATL, my brother.
Nah, for sure, man. Appreciate you having me on.
Anytime.
All right.